Can you elaborate on the concept of simultaneity of cause and effect?
Causality, the indissoluble link between cause and effect, is the central pillar on which the edifice of human knowledge rests. The maxim that everything has its reason for being has guided man in his quest for knowledge since the dawn of time. Religions nourish faith, philosophies question the mind, sciences scrutinize nature, but all draw from this inexhaustible source of causality. Only Buddhism, in its wisdom, admits the narrow limits of time and space that limit human understanding of this infinite chain of cause and effect. Thus, man glimpses causality but cannot grasp its full scope. Like the blind man touching the elephant, he perceives only a tiny part of it. First, let's look at causality from the standpoint of the outside way. At the time of the Buddha, there were many schools of thought in India seeking to understand where we come from and where we're going. There were three main theories on the link between cause and effect, theories that continue to this day. 1. Fatalism. Our lives are determined by our past karma, actions. 2. Theism. A creator God decides everything. 3. Chance. There's no such thing as cause and effect in life. Buddhism has rejected these three theories, which lead to inaction or deny the role of our efforts. Let's now look at the extreme practices of the followers of these thoughts. The wise men of the time engaged in extreme ascetic practices, such as throwing themselves into the Ganges or immolating themselves, to reach the ultimate truth. They believed that the body was a source of illusion, and that we had to free ourselves from it. Buddhism considers that these useless mortifications are based on erroneous notions, such as the existence of an eternal self, which are based on the positing of metaphysical absolutes, such as Brahman or the self, to which everything relates. Buddhism rejects these absolutes, which ignore conditioned causality. Let's now turn to causality in Buddhism. All things exist on the basis of cause and condition relationships. This is what the Buddha realized under the Bodhi tree. Buddhism attaches great importance to conditioned production and causality, but even if we speak of causality, it enunciates 6 causes, 4 conditions and 5 effects, whose meanings are diverse and not uniform, as is the case with the outside way. Various causes, thus correlate with various effects, ka, to which are added the conditions, n. I won't explain each of them here, but for example, one of the 6 causes is called cause of different maturity, in Japanese juku-in. This is one of the laws of cause and effect of life in the 3 phases. Quoting the Sutra of Observing the Earth of the Heart in the eye-opening treatise, Nichiren Daishonin writes, "If you want to know the causes of the past, look at the effects of the present. If you want to know the effects of the future, look at the causes of the present." In other words, what we did in our previous lives is the cause and manifests itself in good or bad effects and good or bad retribution in the present, and what we did in this life is the cause that leads to future effects. In addition, Buddhism also teaches that the effect is concomitant with the cause through the principle of simultaneity of cause and effect, in Japanese inga-guji. What is simultaneity of cause and effect? Having arrived at the original doctrine of the Lotus Sutra, this doctrine of cause and effect is extended by the doctrine of the original cause and effect of the fundamental Buddha of the infinite past. In the treatise on the meaning of substance, Totaiji Sho, Nichiren Daishonin calls the simultaneity of cause and effect an inconceivable law. Indeed, he writes, "The ultimate principle has no name." When the wise man, observing the principle, gave a name to everything, it was the unique, inconceivable Dharma of the simultaneity of cause and effect. Giving it a name was Myoho-renge. This unique law of Myoho-renge contains all the 3,000 dharmas of the 10 worlds, without a single one missing. He who practices this single law can simultaneously obtain the cause of Buddhahood and the effect of Buddhahood. The wise man who took this law as his master practiced and awakened to the way. He simultaneously perceived the marvelous cause and the marvelous effect. For this reason, he became the thus coming to the full effect of marvelous awakening. Let's not forget that the ultimate principle, what the Buddha awakened to, is described in the Virtuous Practices chapter of the Infinite Senses Sutra in these terms. His mind is in extinction, his consciousness annihilated, his thought too is stilled. He has forever cut short erratic reasoning like a dream, and will no longer experience sensory elements, aggregates, domains and activities. His body is neither existent nor non-existent. It is neither caused nor conditioned, neither in itself nor for others, etc. The ultimate principle refers to the deepest natural principle, that is to say, one devoid of artifice, presenting the original aspect of the true principle. When the wise man sees this principle, he gives a name to everything, which means that the unique inconceivable Dharma of the simultaneity of cause and effect exists at the most fundamental moment, even before any naming. All things are therefore, as they are, the unique inconceivable Dharma of simultaneity of cause and effect. The simultaneity of cause and effect implies that the 9 worlds are endowed, as they are, with the Buddha world, and that the Buddha world possesses, as it is, the 9 worlds. The foundation of this is the one thought of heart Dharma. In other words, it's about our heart, about each and every one of us. It's about the inconceivable Dharma of simultaneity of cause and effect. So the heart has something respectable about it. That's why, as long as we have this heart, it's a great pity to become attached to insignificant things and to stray down the wrong way. Ladies and gentlemen, in your one thought of heart Dharma, the 9 worlds and the Buddha world are present. The Buddha world is the effect and the 9 worlds are the cause. That we possess cause and effect as they are, represents the primary meaning of the simultaneity of cause and effect. Cause and effect being one and the same, is called the one inconceivable law. To give a concrete example of the simultaneity of cause and effect, the 67th High Priest Nikken Shonin gave the following explanation of being reborn immediately, right from this body, without having to die, as a bodhisattva sprung from the earth when we practice daimoku with faith in the Dai Gohonzon. In the first place, when the beings of the end of Dharma, those who have absolutely no relation to Buddhism, receive and keep the marvelous Dharma, chant daimoku and perform shikubuku, they are reborn into the life of bodhisattvas sprung from the earth. Consequently, the pure virtues of those who emerge from the earth, who have practiced the marvelous Dharma since the inconceivably distant past of Kuon, directly become the lives of these people and produce the marvelous virtues since the time of the inconceivably distant past of Kuon. These are the inconceivable works and virtues of the wonderful Dharma.